Okie dokie, so it's day 9, I think. So about to be on day 10 tomorrow. And what I'll start doing is making more of an effort from tomorrow onwards. What I've been doing this first, say, 10 days is focusing on doing one take impromptu videos. Because that was the thing I wasn't good at before was if I was making even like a 2-minute video for my Instagram, I've got it on portrait, landscape now as well, so I need to look at the camera and not me, because in the other one I can get away with it, but now I can see I'm not even looking at you, aka the audience. So something I probably just look at that green light. I'm guessing that's lined up. So something I was bad at was just clipping it up loads and not getting the video done in once. So say now it's taking a minute for me to barely get anywhere. I'd be like, idiot, right? And do it a million times over. But this first say 10 days, what I've been using it for is just, hey, you can do it, right? And it brings me into, I guess I was gonna do one topic right now that just came to my mind, but then one came to my mind way earlier, and they've both kind of collided now. So just for this first point was, the reason was I always wanted everything to be perfect. I invested so heavily in, say, not using my university degree and going down this really weird route with the body work. And because of it being so weird, with me being such an anxious person, felt the need to defend it a lot. I became very heavily invested in it. So much so that I was so invested in not messing up, I didn't even really want to try. And it's not like I don't want to try. It's me like, if I was to try, I'd put myself under so much scrutiny that I couldn't even act. It was almost like I was frozen, right? To say, like, some of my colleagues at work would know that even trying to film me, like, say, in my head, putting myself out there, even through a simple Instagram post, was terrifying, because I was like, this needs to work, right? What? What do you mean by that? What I meant was, I thought that one video would be a reflection of all of the work and all the perceived sacrifice I put in, and all the hours I spent by myself thinking about this stuff. I thought it all had to be coming across like that. So it's way too much pressure, way too big a shot at being perfect, right? Which is something that doesn't exist, and that's a whole topic in of itself. In that, if you strive for perfection, that's one thing. If you're trying to make it perfect, and it has to be perfect, it's not possible. That's something you keep building towards, right? So that was something I really had to learn. And again, it's a very simple truth, and I probably would have rolled my eyes if someone was trying to tell me that a few years ago. But it's true, and it's one of those things that you come to learn through experience. Um, so that's that first topic I just wanted to cover. The second topic was, I just finished watching The Shawshank Redemption, and I'd watched it a few times before, but I got to the ending of it, and it's just a beautiful film. Made me a bit emotional, as it has done every single time before I watched it. And the whole premise of that, for me, the reason why it makes me quite why it touches me, pause, is that the whole film is about, well, this guy's story, but it's that he has lots of opportunities to become resentful, right? Convicted, and he's innocent. Gets assaulted and abused a lot in there. Does loads of stuff for the inmates, in spite of all that bad stuff that happens to him. And then he also gets victimized by the guards and the prison warden after everything he's done. And then obviously the big ending is he gets out, and spoiler warning, he's on the beach, and then you see Morgan Freeman or Red come over to him, and they embrace each other. And the thing for me about that is just the thing that I can't remember his name now. I forgot his name. Peter, I think, the main guy in it. He was talking to Morgan Freeman, Red, about hope, right? And he was just saying that's like the one place people can't get to, right? No matter how bad the external circumstance or whatever circumstance you're in may be, there's that one part of you that's completely you, and that is the, say, part of, like, that's what you can attach your hope to, right? Or you can call it faith in another way you can call it faith, right? So now I bring it back to our reality, right? There's a little crappy movie review. Um, what I just wanted to say, like a couple bits on, was about resentment, which is I think it's really easy to be resentful. Um, I know me. Oh my god, that's probably one of the most like. Maybe I still am a little bit. I don't know. I don't think so. But not that much at all. But I used to be really resentful. And I think that's a very horrible place to be in, right? And not getting into like too much about like what I was resentful about and this and that. It's not a personal expose, but yeah, I think that's why that movie touches me so much. Just because I think everyone can relate to, you know, expectations being shattered, or hopes or dreams or this or that or whatever you wanted for yourself or the people around you. It doesn't always live up to that, and obviously I think that's a good thing. But I think the worst thing you can do is become resentful at life, because it's the complete opposite of being grateful, and you can't have one without the other. And if you're to carry a lot of resentment towards life or towards others or even just yourself, it's never going to lead to anything good happening. So, I mean, I could expand on that a lot, and I probably will actually in the next few videos where I said I'll get into some, you know, proper videos and try and make some nice things where I can articulate my thoughts and write out a little script and stuff like that. But yeah, one of the big things is I find myself a bit stifled as I was talking about this. Is one, I can the thing is I can dig quite deep into those emotions and those ideas. So I've got to limit myself a bit because say if I articulate the way I wanted to articulate and talked about the things or certain experiences of mine, one, I think it'd be a bit overexposure. I don't want to be just, you know, like put my life story down here, or even, you know, things that are too personal down on here. And then two, I don't want to like literally cry. Like, I just watched that film. It was really sick, and I'm sure if I just try to go through loads of stuff, I could end up just being some like kid just crying on camera about a film, right? But that all being said, going forward in these videos, it's gonna be cool because what I want to get used to doing, especially with my business videos, is even though I'm selling, say, myself in terms of my story and like what I've done and whatnot, or like what I'm trying to help people with, what I'm gonna to do the body stuff. What I'm gonna try do is frame everything as like a problem solution type thing. I don't want to, you know, personalize it too much and bore people talking about myself. It'll be a good reference point, but going forward, I'd rather just talk about the content. So a lot of the stuff I'll be doing on this channel will be personal. Like, even then, when I'm talking about film, I could make it very personal, right? And then when I do so, it's all right, like it's good. But I'd rather talk about the general themes behind it because that's what's more helpful. And then if I add in personal anecdote, that should be a side thing. I don't want to just sit here and talk about myself as if that's super interesting or super of value. I'll use that as a vehicle for things that are more important, right? Which are like the themes and the principles and the ideas behind it, which is way more valuable to me to articulate, right? I don't want to, going back on the a couple of videos ago about self-narrative or whatever, I don't want to be sitting here talking about like, I used to be really anxious, blah blah blah, or I used to be very resentful, blah 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 blah, right? It's like cool, but like, okay, like, what did I actually, am I just trying to tell myself that again and again, or am I actually trying to talk about in a constructive way where I learned something, and in a way where I'm actually grateful for those things, right? It's nothing to be resentful about. Again, even then when talking about it, it's like, oh, I was like this, I was like that. It's like, it was never what I'm trying to get across. What, even like to myself on a personal level, it's like, this is what happened, this is what I learned, and then this is how I can, you know, optimize those lessons to get as much leverage back in the future. So one, that you don't make them again, and two, that any similar type of like trials and tribulations or things that come into your life, you're best equipped for it you can, because you've actually learned and reflected and you didn't, you know, run from maybe what life's pointing you at. So that being said, I'm gonna hopefully make some nice videos coming up. They're a bit more structured. Shawshank Redemption is a great film. Very touching to see, you know, very well told story, how a guy can be resentful, how he isn't, how he thinks about that, how he processes that, and then eventually the nice happy ending. Great movie.